Thanks, Charlotte. You know, a few weeks ago, we showed as our car of the week a Citroën Traction Avant, and we promised afterwards to take a closer look at Citroëns. So we sent Craig Singhaus out on the high road again to an exotic place far away.
Now, wait a minute. We're not in Lyon or Marseille. We're trying to trap that elusive French creature known as Citroën here in rural Pennsylvania, where there may be more of these outlandish-looking designs than in some French towns. Let's face it, by American standards, this is a weird-looking car. It's the kind of car that people look at and say, "What is that?" And it takes a very special person to keep the faith with cars as unusual as this. It's this man who takes credit for this extreme case of one-mindedness. He's Red Dellinger, a maverick by automotive standards who doesn't run with the pack. He hasn't since his Citroën dealership opened more than 20 years ago. That venture ignited what is now Red's terminal case of tunnel vision, French style.
Well, it goes back to the 50s, the late 50s, when I first worked on a Citroën. Did a engine job on one, took it out for a road test, and I thought, my God, what an automobile. I've never driven anything like it. So I have been addicted to the car for all these years now, and that's what I chose to work on and chose to stay with.
And he has, despite a Citroën empire that never really materialized and a European supply to the States that dried up.
Well, 1973 was the last Citroën we could get. It was the Frenchman's problem of marketing in the United States, and instead of turning it over to qualified American people who were used to the American market.
While other dealers took the hint, shifting toward more lucrative markets, Red found a more exciting vocation, servicing an underground interest filled with Citroën protégés. That led him to this, a French warehouse disguised as a simple country car shop. No thanks to the somewhat unpopular reception Citroën received from Americans in the 1950s and 60s, business is brisk.
Very loyal clientele. They are usually engineers, doctors, lawyers, professional people like that that realize the engineering of the automobile, and they know a lot about the car.
Red now lives about as close as he can get to his passion. Just upstairs from his shop and storehouse, teeming with Citroën parts gathered several times a year on lengthy excursions to Europe. He shares restoration and repair duties with his nephew Brad, another aficionado bitten by the Citroën bug. There's also his intimate relationship with a 1950s Traction Avant that maintains Red's enthusiasm. He says this classic model is a perfect example of why Citroën has achieved near cult status among some drivers in this country.
It was a first forerunner, you know, with the unibody construction, independent suspension all the way around, torsion bar suspension, rack and pinion steering, wet sleeve engine, tremendous roadability on the car, great handling on it. I'll tell you, this is a car to drive. You take this thing out and have a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of cars you wouldn't want to take out, you know, and do what we've just done with a car. But I really get my kicks out of this. My car will never be a show car, because I take it out and splatter it with bugs and everything and have fun with it every weekend. It's just like this one here. It's meant to be driven.
So if you're looking for something different, a car filled with mystique and style, well, you might look up Red Dellinger, a man who, to many, is the American patron saint of Citroën lovers. He's not your ordinary autophile, but he truly loves what he's doing.